It was pretty fun. A lot of people were engaged and laughing at me because of the damn warhead. Oh, that freaked me out. Like suddenly just something tinged my tongue. So, yeah.
Tinged my tongue. Welcome back to the PTOUnlimited podcast. My name is Brett.
I'm Josh.
Alex.
This is episode 82, post-Halloween.
Yes. Yeah, it's right after, actually.
That's
like Halloween was yesterday.
Post means after.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
This is I was right.
I'm not saying you're wrong.
You was like, actually, to prove me wrong.
You okay?
What?
Couldn't spit it out.
Today, Junior. No, I never said that. Alex was the one that was trying to explain to you that there's still time to wear Halloween costumes. People are having their Halloween parties this weekend.
That's dumb.
I want to go.
Why is that dumb?
Because
You
it's
want to
over.
go? Alex, I don't think we can party. Well,
Can we have like Halloween for like 2 weeks straight?
No.
I don't like celebrating holidays after they've occurred.
Okay.
Halloween is the one where I don't want it to I want it to come, but then I don't want it to go.
You know, the leaf, like this week or even last week, the leaves really started falling.
Oh,
yeah,
it really
they did.
Yeah.
It's been cold. It was
Sucks.
true Halloween weather.
And you'd be like, isn't this weather great?
If Halloween could be in the summer, I'd be happy.
It was actually a little too cold.
Well, Saturday night?
At least this week has been.
Yes.
Saturday during the day was cold.
Yeah. At night it
Saturday
felt
during the
right.
day
At
sucked.
night,
Friday sucked.
It did.
At night, the wind died down.
Alex, your eyes are just freaking me out. The fact you have yellow eyes.
They don't bother me.
I'm in costume.
They don't bother
at the
me
moment.
none.
They freak me out a little bit.
That's Joe Dirt.
Well, I don't like that movie.
I like getting hit by hot dogs. It don't bother me none.
We, Alex and I tried to watch that movie a couple weeks ago. We had to turn it off.
Yeah.
Really?
It's just garbage.
It's just
So funny.
it's
I don't see
difficult to get through. I remember liking it in high school,
That was
but
nice.
that was about it. It
I
doesn't hold
think
up
now,
anymore.
like, had I stumbled across it, never seen it before now, I probably wouldn't like it.
Mhm.
But because I've maintained the funny parts through the years, I think it's hilarious.
Kind of that nostalgia factor.
Yep.
Alex wanted to watch a Halloween movie the other night, and she's like, put on Hocus Pocus. I was like, Alex, it
Yeah.
probably sucks.
Doesn't hold up.
I'm sure.
I really want to watch it.
You should watch it, because I watched it on TV 2 years ago, I think.
Oh, yeah?
And it may have been more fun had I been with friends.
Yeah.
But watching it by myself, I could do without.
I get it.
I started watching Texas Chainsaw Massacre the beginning last night.
Okay.
And I didn't get real far because it was kind of late, but that's uncomfortable.
Are we doing
watching
our
some?
Playing and watching immediately?
No, this is Halloween related.
I get it.
Which we could launch right into the weekend.
I didn't tell you what 82 was, though.
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah, episode 82, Josh. What do we got for 82?
For the number 82, both NBA and NHL
Oh,
operate 82 game regular seasons.
They do.
Both sports I don't give a fuck about.
I like hockey. But
I get it.
I tend not to watch any until the playoffs.
Because
Just because regular season games,
there's
don't have-
82 games.
There's just not. There's one season that I watched every game, and it was in 2012. They had a shortened season because they couldn't come out with the Players Association couldn't come to an agreement with the NHL or something like that.
Okay.
So there was a lot less games, but I remember I got a subscription to the NHL network, and the app that's on the NHL app that's on the Xbox, you could stream out of market games. So I remember that season I watched darn near every Red Wings game.
Yeah, you're a big Red Wings fan.
And that was fun because when you are able to see the progress through the season of the players that you like, it's a lot more fun. It means more, but it takes a lot of time because there's, 3, 4, 5 games a week.
I had a dirty thought, but I probably shouldn't say it.
Okay.
Okay.
Do you want me to?
I don't know.
I was going to ask Brett if he earned his Red Wings.
Oh, that's gross. Oh, that's nasty.
not right.
I'm sorry.
But
Sorry,
anyway.
folks. I'm sorry.
That's true. 82 games in a season.
Yes. So let's talk about our weekend.
Let's talk
Okay.
about it.
Yeah. Well, to start off, Friday night is when I drove down to Indianapolis to pick up Jer, which I was expecting the weather to just be so bad because I saw that. Did you see the storm that went from, I think, Texas all the way up to Canada?
Yeah.
Like, we always seem to get those storms at the most inconvenient times.
They didn't amount to much.
When
Yeah,
are
no, it's
storms
just rain.
convenient?
Yeah, there are times when storms are convenient when the ground needs it.
I guess.
Yeah, like midsummer is when you need a storm.
Okay.
every now and
Anyways,
then.
you were driving down to Indy.
Yeah, I drove down to Indy, and then on our way back, the Linkin Park concert started up, and Alex is going to touch on that a little bit later. But on the way up, we were trying to watch it, and it was a live stream, so the audio wasn't the best. So Jer and I just stopped at Arby's because he's always hungry. You have to have food by him. He's always hungry. So he had he was making a makeshift speaker
Oh, that's right. You just
out of the curly fries package, that the little cardboard thing.
Yeah.
Because the speaker's on the bottom, and I had my phone turned to its side while we were watching it, and so he tried to put a makeshift cone over it so it bring the sound forward.
Did it work?
No. So then
Why
we're
didn't you take a Bluetooth speaker?
See, I didn't think of that. I thought that the audio would be fine.
Yeah.
So then Jared's just like, oh, well, we can each wear an earbud and go that route. Turns out his earbuds are so short that we would have been like
Face
this
to
close,
face.
like ear to ear, like,
While you're driving.
yeah, like, and I'd be driving like, yeah.
people driving by would have been
You
like,
needed
whoa.
a splitter then, didn't you?
Well, what Jared decided to do was just watch the concert on his phone, and I'd watch it on mine, and he had 2 pairs of headphones with him.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah.
Oh, okay.
So watched and listened as I drove. Which, if you've ever driven from Indy to Fort Wayne, going on 69, it's just a straight path.
Yep.
At one point. So it was about at
Once
that
you get
point.
out of or away from Indy because of all the interchanges, it gets pretty crazy there.
Yeah. And then it was just smooth sailing the
Was
rest
the
of the way.
traffic busy?
No, actually, on the way down it was, but it was right after
It was like rush hour.
rush
when-
hour.
Yeah.
Yeah. It got a little crazy at that point. And then Saturday, Alex and I got up and we got up an hour late. Everything was an hour behind, regardless
That's
of
because
what we
we
did.
stayed up until like
3 o'clock.
3
in the
o'clock
morning.
in the morning on Friday.
Yeah.
The Linkin Park concert didn't end until 2.
1 or 2.
1 or 2
yeah.
o'clock?
It was about 3
It was
hours
a
long.
little over 3 hours long.
Yep. So that all of Saturday we were just an hour behind. So we were just trying to make up for lost time just by cutting things out that we didn't need to do. So we wound up setting up the party around 4 o'clock, which our scheduled time was 2.
Yes.
So we had to rush and get all that done. Alex and I were yelling at each other.
Which happens every year.
Probably making Jer very uncomfortable, which happens every year.
Every year.
I always, when you do that with me, I shout, "Stop fighting!"
And we shout back, we're not fighting.
Okay.
We're having a
Sure sounds like it.
heated conversation. So
No, you really do become a jerk, though, when you're rushing.
so do you.
I feed off of you. If you weren't a jerk, then I wouldn't be.
Well, the thing is, we were just an hour behind, and it was just our own fault.
But we had to go back to the apartment. We had to grab all the everything from our house. We had to grab our costumes, the alcohol, the food, everything.
Yep.
And transfer it all the way back to my mom's.
Yep. We went back and forth twice.
Twice,
And then we set up the party, and the party started at 8:04. Alex had gift bags prepared for those who were going to show up on time.
Deal because in the actual event post that I posted on Facebook for it, someone had asked the day before, what time does
I think that was Shane.
Yeah, I think Shane asked, what time does the party start? And I had made some kind of crazy start time on the actual Facebook event that said party starts at 8:04 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Yep.
So I texted him back on the Facebook page. It said 8:04 Eastern Standard Time. And he said, well, I know that's when the party starts, but I was thinking, are you expecting people closer to 9? I said, pretty much any time after 8:04 is fine. And then not even thinking about how serious people would take this, I said underneath that, maybe I'll have a special gift for the people that arrive at 8:04.
Yep.
And then Josh said there was people at his work and other people that I saw on Facebook that are like, oh shit, I'm going to be there at 8:04. So then I was like, great, now I have to make gift bags.
Now you had to prepare.
I made 6 gift bags. Nobody took them. No, I made special gift bags, and they are all still full.
Matt took one. I think Rob took one.
I would have friggin' taken one.
It was when I pointed it out at the end of the night, and I'm like, they're like, what is this? I'm like, the gift bags for the people that came at 8:04.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
I mean, it didn't have anything real special in it. It had a solo cup in it where you could peel the... it had like a little chalkboard looking thing where you could peel the side off and write your name on the side and with your finger. Cool. So a specialized solo cup. So it would have been yours, but you didn't take it. So next year people will get it.
Tell you what, we ran out of shot glasses.
That's because 4 or 6 of them, you had your own special shot glass in the gift bag. We had to take them
out of the bags.
Yeah, we took them out of the gift bags because people didn't take them. So I was like, screw it, you guys don't get your own shot glass.
Yeah.
And then I put like some glow sticks and some other funny stuff.
Oh, there was a thing, a light up thing, a jack-o'-lantern light up thing. I think it was like a keychain.
It was like a belt clip keychain or something, and then they flashed or whatever. I don't know. I put some like goodies in there just to be like, hey, you're special. You came at 8:04.
Yeah, and only a few people.
And I was freaking out about making them and hurrying up, and then all that for nobody took the gift bags.
It's okay.
So,
it's all right.
Anyways.
It was a good time. So, Brett, do you have any memories of the party? That you'd like to share. That you'd like to share.
Oh, a lot of people really liked my costume.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, you can name.
Why don't you tell everybody again what you were for? I
was a character from Ghost Recon Wildlands, and basically all I did was I wore these black. They weren't even jeans. They were like pants, like Swiss gear pants.
They were nice pants.
I like them.
Nice pants.
They're stretchy and they breathe. But I just wore those. I got, in quotations, tactical black boots. I got an Under Armour dry fit sleeveless shirt it's like a workout shirt. And then a quotes tactical vest with a bunch of pouches and straps and buckles and
everything that you need to take someone down.
Yeah, there was a pistol holster. And then I had this walkie-talkie headset that's actually goes around your neck. So a lot of military operators have the neck microphone, whatever it is, that actually I think it's so precise and sensitive that it catches everything, even if you're whispering. That's why.
Didn't Xbox have one of those? It came out for like Call of Duty or something.
Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2.
Yeah,
and I think there was one for Gears of War 2.
Yeah,
which those are
garbage.
Military ones are way.
Oh yeah,
but it had the twirly earpiece that goes up to put in your ear. I didn't have it plugged in anything. I just ran.
No, but it looked like you were like some secret agent ready to take someone down.
Just a beanie, and I carried one real gun and one fake gun in my thigh holster, and then occasionally I had a real assault rifle slung around. So
that was heavy.
I didn't mess around.
Yeah, but, people were loving
didn't mess
your
around
guns.
with you. They were like, "Oh shit!"
Yeah, everyone thought that you were Halloween security.
Yeah.
Halloween security. We should have had you standing by the door.
Plus, I looked.
Be like, "ID, please."
I looked kind of menacing.
Oh my god,
Alex, your book's all the way over there.
Oh, it's okay.
Did you have anything in it?
No, that's just normally where we write our
well,
title.
you can bend over and grab that book right
what?
there.
Bend over.
You can, like I said, you can bend over and grab that book right there, and we can write something down.
Oh yeah.
But I did. I filled every pocket with something, just so that it would feel real. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. For me, I was a splicer from BioShock or BioShock 2, if you want. Just a standard one. I was just a standard splicer. It wasn't a spider splicer or Houdini splicer or anything. Not a lot of people knew what I was, and I was just like, well, that just
it's hard to explain video game characters to people who don't game.
Right.
Even casual gamers may not know what a splicer is. Or
I did a really good job at explaining to people at work that don't play video games what it is.
Yeah.
And
genetically modified girl is what you are.
Yeah. So what a splicer is a normal person that got addicted to Adam and went crazy. And Adam is this superhuman liquid that you inject yourself with, and you, for a temporary time, you can get special powers. But if you, just like any kind of drug, you can get addicted to it, and you kind of go crazy. So that's what splicers are. And I am a little sister, and I harvest Adam. Yeah. So I'm pretty much like the drug dealer. They try to like come and grab me and take the Adam from me, pretty much. Yeah. And then after they die or overdose, I go to them and stick my little Adam extractor into them, and I suck it out, which Josh is grabbing my Adam extractor. There it is. Yeah. So the people watching our YouTube video, I'm holding it up, my little prop not my little prop, but my big prop that my brother made for me. Yeah. Super nice.
Yep. So that's what they do.
So, like, I inject someone and then I suck the Adam out.
TV antenna. Really good. Really thoughtful.
Safer than a giant needle.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But throughout the party, I was just like, don't make me mad or else I'll suck the Adam out of you.
Yeah. So, Alex, you were a little sister.
I was. Yeah. It's like one of my favorite costumes so far.
One of them. Yeah. So, you like Laura Croft. You like your little sister. Yeah. What were you last year?
Last year I was Harley Quinn.
That was a good one, too.
It was good, but it was very...
store-bought.
Yeah, it was more store-bought material. I mean, I did alter it quite a bit, and I made the bat from scratch other than making and carving the bat. Yeah. I decorated the bat all by myself, and then I ripped up the shirt and sewed it all back together and painted it and whatnot. But for the most part... all my accessories were store-bought, so I mean, it was a good costume, but it was a very store-bought costume. Yeah. I like making it from scratch.
I would be tempted to do the Punisher next year again, only do it better.
Oh, yeah?
And probably what I would do instead is...
maybe use that vest.
Well, I wonder, I could, but I would have to paint it, and I don't want to do that.
Spray paint.
Yeah, but it's a nice vest. You know?
But what I thought,
I don't know if you can get a Kevlar vest for civilians. Like, I don't know if you can do that.
I don't know.
And that I would have to have somebody with skill paint.
Kevlar is probably expensive if not.
Right.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, I think you could go to like an army surplus store and probably get a Kevlar vest.
Yeah.
But that would be one that I would consider doing because the Punisher is relevant again and will be, at the end of this year and early next year, and hopefully even if they do another season after this first season. It would be next. But I feel that's going to be one that everybody wants to do after that series comes out.
You would do it a lot better than most, I'm sure.
Well, I don't like to half-ass my costumes like some people. And I'm not saying people did that, but some people just throw something together or go buy the whole thing. I like to make it out of putting pieces together.
That's what I do. And Alex, you made yours.
You both do.
Yeah, mine was mostly store-bought.
Mostly store-bought, but you did a lot of stuff to
customization. Yeah.
Well, all of mine was store-bought, but it was all separate pieces put together.
Yeah. So the night started at 8. We started off playing Kings, and that was great. That was a fun time. Your brother Dilly Dilly. You don't like that. Why don't you like it?
I think it's hilarious.
You got a king card.
I did.
But it was the second to last card. So you did it 3 times.
So what we're referring to is if you watch TV or YouTube, you've probably seen the is it Bud Light? It's Bud Light, isn't it? It's a Bud Light commercial, and it's like set back in like King's times or whatever, and this guy just like, they're bringing stuff up to the king, and it's like cases of beer, and he's like, "You're a good friend of the king, Dilly Dilly." Like hold up, like it's like a cheers pretty much. And every time a gift was brought up, the king would raise his glass and say, "Dilly Dilly." There we go, Dilly Dilly.
I don't think you have to explain the commercial. I think everybody's seen it by now.
Well, not everybody at the table saw it. They're like, "Dilly Dilly, what does that mean?" And I think it was like Shane, Wayne, and like 2 other people. I did that. They all laughed and put their hands up.
Probably the people who watch sports.
Yeah, probably.
So when I was like, I told Josh, I'm like, I'm not going to stop playing Kings all night until I get a king card where I get to make my own rule, and I get to do that. And I got the second to last card, and as soon as I picked it up and saw that it was a K, I was like, Dilly Dilly.
You looked at me like, what is it? What is it? What is it? You got really excited. Yes, I was like, Dilly Dilly.
I really wanted to do it.
Yep. It was a fun. We finished the game of Kings.
So we took shots at the end of the night. And we're saying that.
Oh, that's right. Too many shots. Brett, you took a shot. And that surprised me.
Like 2, I think.
But you never take shots.
Well, that's apple pie.
Apple pie is really easy, which is funny because it's Everclear, but it's really easy to take.
It's diluted.
Yeah.
It's very diluted.
Very, very diluted and homemade.
I was getting a little scared though. So Josh and I make our famous apple pie drink every year. And Josh, I mean, you can explain what apple pie is because you're the one that makes it.
It's 2 gallons of apple juice, brown sugar, cinnamon sticks, and Everclear.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it. Yep, you boil the apple juice and the brown sugar together. You have to wait for the apple juice to cool. Then you pour half of a bottle of Everclear into 1 gallon, half a bottle into the other. And then you pour it in, put cinnamon sticks and cinnamon. Sometimes you put the cinnamon in during the boiling process. And then that's
pretty much it.
Yep. Tastes like apple pie.
And it tastes amazing.
Yeah.
And mostly, and even and it's really nice for the people that can't take shots very well because it pretty much tastes like you're just drinking apple cider.
But it hits you.
Oh, it hits you. It hits you. It's a sneaker.
It is. Yeah.
It's a sneaker. It kicks you.
Look at you. No.
No, but it was fun. But it was like I think 10:30, 11 o'clock, and I realized that we hadn't even brought the apple pie out yet, and I'm like, we made 2 gallons of this stuff.
Well, no, we didn't bring the Jell-O shots out, so I did that first, and then I was like, and we got apple pie, so we started.
No, I went in and got the apple pie.
We were just shooting
because you guys were all playing beer pong, and finally I got all the shot glasses I could find and poured some. And I was like, all right, who wants apple pie? And we all came in and. I was surprised like 5 or 6 people had never actually had it before, and they all drank it. And as soon as we did the one shot, everyone's like, and another. I'm like, yeah, you can't just have 1 shot of apple pie. You need to have like 4.
So what Alex and I do is right before the Halloween party, we always gather up all the booze that's sitting in our house, and we take it to the party.
And we try to
have. So we came home with more alcohol than what we left with.
Well, the plan was to get rid of the alcohol.
Yes. So we have bottles of stuff.
Bottles of alcohol.
I don't think people drink as heavy.
Well, and that was what Jared said. Like, we came home with like bags of alcohol left over, and I was like, we were not, I don't know, complaining, but we're like, this was the opposite of what we wanted to happen. And Jared's like, you know what? Back when we were 21, this didn't happen.
Yeah.
Like, we had empty bottles of alcohol.
A lot of people are just drinking beer, because it's not as hard on you.
What'd you think of Jared's costume, Marty McFly?
I liked it.
That was pretty good.
And Wayne's was really good too.
I
my God, Forrest Gump. Oh man.
Gosh. So Wayne showed up in the runner Forrest Gump.
Yeah. Short shorts. And he's already got the beard, and he put a wig on. He had a hat. Oh man, it was just so great. And when he walked in, he's like, "All right, my eyes are up here."
And he's a really tall guy, and he was wearing shorts. Like, if he would have bent down the wrong way,
you would have seen.
It would have been a surprise.
Yep.
But it was really good, really good.
So what happened with Steak and Shake?
Okay, so the party ended at about 3. I don't remember you leaving. I don't remember half the party.
Yeah,
leaving.
and
I was pretty drunk.
You both tried to tell me you weren't drunk, and I knew better than that.
Yeah.
I think I
knew
I wasn't trapped.
Oh,
I was
yeah.
drunk.
But you were right on the edge.
Yeah, I was on the edge, yeah.
Yeah, so Alex's mom drove us home. Thank you for that. Thank you very much for being our DD. We appreciate it very much.
Every year.
So as we're pulling out of the driveway, Jer turns to us and says, all right, so who's good to drive the Steak and Shake? I was like, are you kidding me? There's no way.
It's like 3:30 in the morning, and we've only been drinking from 8 until now.
Oh, my gosh.
I'm like, no. We get inside, and not even 2 seconds later, he is on his phone ordering an Uber to Steak and Shake.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yes.
Yep.
He's like, I'm hungry. We're eating.
So you Ubered 2 Steak and Shake
and back.
Okay, so the Uber story.
So I want to tell you the first part of the Uber story. So the first Uber driver took us the wrong way. He was taking us to Coldwater. And we were like, no, we want to go to the one on Maysville. So he had to turn around.
Does he not know the area?
No.
So to kind of make it easy for the people that don't live here, you pretty much from our house to to Steak and Shake, take the
one you wanted to go.
The one we wanted to go to.
We take one road.
We take one road to get there. We pull out. We take a left, and we take that left all the way down to Steak and Shake, and then we take a right into Steak and Shake.
Yeah.
So
that's
before you go on, this must have been an Uber driver who thought, hey, the real action is going to be in Fort Wayne. doesn't know Fort Wayne that well. So,
but they have
that makes
GPSs.
sense.
Well, I mean,
True,
I mean, to give him props, he was a super cool.
Oh, he was amazing.
He was amazing. I wanted to hang out with the guy.
He was really cool.
He was really cool. But it was like halfway to whatever Steak and Shake he was trying to take us to, and then Josh is like,
I didn't want to say anything.
He didn't want to say anything, and then finally we're like, where are you going?
I would have just went. What do you care which one it is?
Because the one on Coldwater is a lot crazier.
It's going to be really busy.
That's next to the bars.
Okay,
yeah. We wanted to go to the one that no one else will go to.
Yeah, it was dead at that one.
And it was dead.
So yeah, he didn't know the way to get there, so we had to give him we had to basically draw
tell
him a map.
our Uber where to go.
Yeah. So we got the Steak and Shake. Luckily, not busy at all.
No, there was maybe, like 3 tables.
Yeah.
And they were all doing the same thing.
And cook, right?
I think there were 2 servers.
They're all doing the same thing. You could tell that they were all came back. They were drunk from parties, and they were at Steak and
the
Shake.
Server?
No,
that's what I'm talking about.
The other
there's
people.
1 server and 1 cook.
No, I said there's 2 servers.
There was
and
2 servers.
I know there was at least 1 cook, maybe 2.
Okay.
Yeah.
Of course, there's a cook. No shit.
So the funny part that happened when we were there.
Can I
Do you want to say it?
Yeah.
Okay, you can say because you technically saw it.
I saw the whole thing.
Okay, I was trying not to look at it.
So I saw 3 booths away from us, straight. So if it was us 3, Alex would be right here, I'd be right here, and Jared would be right there. 3 booths behind you was a group of 4 guys, smashed, just completely drunk, and we saw. What's up?
I think my phone is ringing. That would screw up the video.
I hope not either.
There might be a slight
vibration going on right now.
Might be a slight cut in the video, but anyway.
I hope not. Did it quit?
Yeah.
Okay. Anyways, so these guys, this one booth right next to us got up and left, and they left a lot of food on their table. These guys picked that food up and went back to their table and ate it.
As sneaky as they possibly could, but it was pretty damn obvious.
I was laughing.
Like, at first they went and grabbed a plate of fries and then just kind of grabbed it and kind of went back and started eating. They're like, there's half a burger.
Why are they sneaking?
Well, because it's
gross, but what do they care? They're smashed.
Yeah.
But they're just like, free food. And the server, I did see that. The server did come over there and go, did you guys just take that food off of the...
Oh, it's going to go in the garbage?
And he thought it was hilarious.
Yeah. Jared was a little...
And they were pointing at us. They're like, oh, they saw us. I'm like, no shit. It's a table right next to us.
I would have laughed.
Jared and I were laughing. Alex was embarrassed to even be sitting next to us.
Oh, God.
Because Jared and I were both pretty obnoxious.
They were
Jared was
loud.
a little loud. Yeah. So we ate and then got an Uber back. The Uber back didn't really know the way.
Nope.
Because when you get on Stellhorn off of Maysville, you take a left onto Maple Crest to our place.
Yep.
He wasn't taking that left.
Nope.
I was like, dude, you turn left here. So he was in the middle. He's like, oh, okay. He didn't know where
he didn't know where he was going either. I'm like, it's one road.
I thought they have GPS.
Yeah.
They do, but the GPS is taking them like some crazy route.
Well,
I don't know.
If they don't know in the GPS, I would have probably done the same thing.
Right.
Do you want to check that I'm all paranoid now?
Absolutely. I'll be right back.
Josh is going to check our video feed just for you YouTubers.
I forgot to put it on Do Not Disturb.
Yeah.
Forget. I need to make a checklist of what to do. Pre-video and pre-recording. Hello. Am I talking to myself
I
here?
know. I was just checking something. Is it still going, Josh? Are we still good?
Do you want me to check it?
No, it's not that.
What happened?
Our video cut out again.
Aw.
Is it going now?
Yeah.
So
okay,
is it gonna be
we'll
like
do.
2? Is it going to be like 2 pieces?
Yeah, but it's going to cut out our entire story.
Oh, well.
It's okay. We'll do something about it.
No. Anyways, let's go on from there.
No.
We can't because it's cut in half now, and so half of our story, like our entire story of Steak and Shake.
We can't do anything about that story. But
Yeah, but we can start it up from another.
I think I'll just have a thing that says video not available and the audio will still go.
There you go.
That's a good idea.
So somehow I'm going to have to sync up 2 audios.
We will see.
2 videos to audio.
I was just saying, you might not have heard because you were mad. I need to make a checklist of what to do before sticking the phone in that
that's
cradle.
2 weeks in a row.
Okay, but anyways, let's talk more about. So we got back from Steak and Shake.
We did.
You guys wanted to keep talking. It was 5:00 in the morning, and I said, "Screw you guys," and I went off to bed and just fell asleep.
Yes, you did. You did.
I didn't even say like good night. I just automatically got through the door and walked up the stairs and went to bed.
Right.
I'm like, screw you guys. I've been up all day.
Right. So, yeah, that was our Saturday night, and the Sunday was just... Oh.
So, is the McDonald's and the Angels related?
Angels
No.
is. Angels is related.
All right, we'll tell
Angels
that
is
story,
related.
because I got one kind of opposite to that.
So I had a real shit morning. I didn't really have an alcohol hangover. I had a no sleep hangover.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
I went to bed at 5:30, and then for some reason my stomach was hurting from eating Steak and Shake too late, because you eat and then it's like kind of starts up your body in the morning, and I ate a full meal. I was starving. We made 4 freaking pizzas at the party. I had, and we cut it into party pieces, party squares, and I had 1 party square the whole night.
Fast.
And then the only other thing,
pizzas.
the only other thing I had in the that day was some egg bake at like 2:00 in the afternoon. Yeah. That was it. Yeah. So I was starving, so I had to eat. And then I woke up at like 7. I woke up at 8. I woke up at 9 and I said, all right, screw this. I took a little bit of a bath to calm me down. I went downstairs to the, because my stomach felt queasy, and I found that when I lay on the couch and I'm elevated a little bit and my stomach isn't flat, I don't feel as queasy.
Oh, Alex, I forgot to mention, when we were riding to Steak and Shake, my seatbelt wouldn't work.
Oh, that's right. He kept click, 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 click. It reminded me of Jurassic Park.
Yeah. So I just held my arm with it together for half the ride, and I was just like,
click,
why?
Click.
Well, just because I don't know. Just
Did you say, dude, your seatbelt?
No, we didn't mention it. I just took Alex, like, my seatbelt's not clicking. It would go in, and it wouldn't latch. So I was like, well, screw it. I'm not wearing a seatbelt. I'm in the back seat anyway.
You go downstairs.
Anyways, I go downstairs. I lay on the couch, and I finally get to sleep at like 9:30 in the morning. And Josh and Jer wake up and come downstairs about 12:30.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I didn't get a lot of sleep. So I'm.
This didn't come down at 9:45.
Well, that is true. But the other thing is that Snickers kept chasing something in front of the door, so it wake me up. But anyway, so I'm like, well, I'm awake, so I might as well stay awake. I've only had a few hours of sleep, and it sucks. I'm really hungry. Let's go get something to eat. So I went to a breakfast place called Angels, and it's just a little hole-in-the-wall little diner thing. So we went to Angels. We sat down. I'm already having a shit morning.
Yeah, you were. So I
order some hot tea. And this is where it starts. I order some hot tea, and the other two order some cappuccinos or something.
Yep. Jared and I got free refills on those cappuccinos. That was nice.
It was stupid.
They're $2 drinks,
I guess. Anyways, she gives me my hot tea, and I'm stirring it for a long time, and ask for some honey. She brings us some honey. Pour in the honey. Get it all ready. Take it. It is cold.
What?
The water is freezing.
Water. Cold water.
First thing I do is I, raise my hand. Hey, my water's cold. And she even brought me like a pot, like the hot pot thing. And she goes, oh, you know what happened? Blah, blah. I'm like, I don't even care what happened. Just give me some hot water. So she brings me back some hot water. And then she brings me the honey packets again. And I can't open the honey packet.
I had to do it.
He had to do it, and then when I did, I got it all over the place.
No.
And then the next thing is I go to pour the water into my cup, and it just goes everywhere, like all over the table. At this point,
Alex says, I am done.
I was like, that's it.
I'm ready to leave.
I'm done. I'm ready to go, because I was like, I just want hot water, and I've been waiting for like a half an hour for her to give me water.
Why didn't you just make tea here and take it with you?
She wants it with her food.
I just like having hot tea with my food in the morning.
Yeah.
Anyways, so that's not it. It gets worse. Okay. So I have hot tea everywhere.
Yeah.
And finally, Jared takes it, and he pours my hot tea for me, because I'm just like fed up.
Good idea.
So I'm drinking my hot tea. She comes by, takes the orders. I said that I wanted I was looking at having beef or not beef and gravy,
biscuits and gravy
and some potatoes or something. I was like, man, that sounds amazing. I was like, they took their orders, and she comes up to me, and I was like, I want some biscuits and gravy and the potatoes with it. And she goes, we just ran out of biscuits.
Oh,
I'm like, okay, well, that's what I wanted, but
was
okay.
It busy?
No.
Nope.
And then so I was like, well, I guess I'll have this. So I ordered a chicken
skillet.
A skillet, pretty much. It was like eggs, potatoes, chicken, and like some peppers.
She wanted light onions.
And light onions, because they put a lot of onions in this thing.
Jer ordered another skillet, but it was
Isn't that
Chicago style.
Skillets?
Yeah.
So it's like everything kind of cooked it on a skillet and mashed together.
Jer got a Chicago style one. Me, I ordered something. I ordered a gyro and feta cheese omelet.
Okay.
Yeah. So anyway, so I ordered the chicken. She finally, and it takes a long time to make these things, so she brings them out, and as she's coming to me, she turns back
Oh no.
And goes into the kitchen, brings their stuff out and goes, you didn't order the Chicago style or Denver something? I'm like, no, I ordered the chicken something light on the onions. And she goes, I'll be right back. And I see her, you could see the kitchen because it's open. And she goes up and she goes, I could have sworn I told you guys chicken, not Chicago, blah, 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 blah. And then she comes back and she goes, well, I apologize, blah, 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 blah. They get their food. And she brings me my toast.
Are you eating in front of her?
I couldn't wait.
Yeah, they were starving, so they started to wait. I was like, just eat, guys.
We would have had to wait at least 5 to 10 minutes.
Yeah, she comes back and she goes, well, you know what? The chicken skillet does take a long time because it's chicken. I'm like, yeah, that's what I want.
Oh, man.
And she goes, I really apologize. It's going to take a while to cook it. I'm like, that's fine. So she gives me my toast, and I'm sitting there drinking my spilled tea and eating my toast.
Did you guys finish before hers came out?
No, they're huge. Like they're big skillets.
Yeah.
They finally bring my stuff out and everything's kind of right. She didn't do light on the onions, but whatever. And then I don't know. Was there anything else that was wrong with with it?
No,
I think that was it. But it was like just one more thing.
Here's what I did.
Like should have gone to Sarah's.
I got up way before you guys, and I knew I would, and I left.
Brag about it.
I was dead set on having Sarah's.
Yeah.
Because I knew I haven't had breakfast in a while. I wanted breakfast. So I get there, and at this point, it's about 20 till 11.
Mm-hmm.
There is no parking at all.
Oh, I'm sure.
And then, not only was there no parking, but I pull in there the front where you can park kind of perpendicular to the road, or then on the other side, there's spaces beside the building. There's not a lot of parking for Sarah's.
Right.
No.
So there's this big ass black van parked right up by the door. And then the truck that pulled in front of me is trying to find a place to park, but can't get around the black van. So he just sits there. So I'm like, okay, no place to park. So I'm like, what do I do now? I really want breakfast, but I will only go to Sarah's or Cracker Barrel for breakfast.
Yes.
I won't go to IHOP. I think it's just not very good.
I don't think it's good.
It's cheap.
It tastes
no good.
cheap.
It's one thing.
So I was already on that side of town. There's only 2 Cracker Barrels in Fort Wayne.
Mm-hmm. There's one in like Washington or
there's
something.
one right up at Lima and Washington Center.
And then there's the one on Maysville.
Up by Maysville. So
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't really want to drive all that way, especially since I was just up there.
Yeah.
So I decided to go to Buffalo Wings and Ribs because they opened at 11 o'clock.
Oh, wow.
So I went there. I ordered what I usually get, and I was eating by 10 after 11.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, I was the first one in the building.
Oh, man. Just yourself. That's nice and quiet.
It was great.
I'm sure it was.
I was watching the NFL pregame shows.
You probably didn't have to. You probably could have watched the Vikings and Browns.
I could have, but I didn't have it up, and I didn't care.
Yeah, that was a good game. I watched that on Sunday morning. I got up around 9:30ish. I was like, "Oh, the game is just about to," or it already started.
No, you didn't. You got up at noon.
I was up. I was on my phone. Alex was sleeping.
Josh was up.
Okay.
Yeah. I got up and I was watching it on my phone and just sitting there all hungover watching the game. And the Vikings were behind the Browns at halftime, 16-15, I think. I was like, what the crap? What in the world is going on? And then the Vikings came back.
They killed them.
Yeah. I feel really good about that.
We got to get going. We got a lot to cover.
Skull.
Well, is there anything else that, as far as the Halloween party goes, that we could... Have we touched base
There
on?
was arm wrestling. Did you see that?
Oh,
Yep.
yeah, that was right. There was an arm wrestling match.
And
beer pong was good. I like the way that we set it up this year.
But the rules cause people to stop playing.
What rules?
The rule is you can play 3 games in a row, but after your 3rd game, you have to take a break. Because I thought that there'd be people lining up.
Well, it's because the last 2 years, like it was difficult for people to get into beer pong because people would be hogging the tables.
Right.
So
it got.
But anyways, I feel like a lot of people were able to play though.
Yeah,
that was
the
thing. So but yeah, that was fun. I played beer pong. Me and Rick actually won a game. That was fun.
Yeah.
Wayne and I did some line dancing.
Oh yeah,
in the
you
garage.
did the cha-cha slide or
No,
Cupid shuffle.
it was the Cupid shuffle.
You did it in the kitchen, and then you went out to the garage and started playing there.
Yeah, so we got together, did that again. That was fun. There was that one part I forgot to talk about. So my contacts were like a really big hit where they were scaring people. I got yellow contacts and I have really dark brown eyes, so it really made it pop. And if you guys are watching a YouTube video, you guys can obviously see it. So what I did was after I finished like my bottle of wine, I went and made myself a drink, and I just kind of looked at the alcohol. I'm like, what sounds good? And when Josh and Brett and I had our drinking weekend the other weekend, I had like this raspberry vodka mixed with like Coca-Cola. And it sounds gross, but it tasted really good. Yeah. So I come around the corner after pouring it in my Solo cup, and Shane and Wayne walked up to me, and they're like, what are you drinking? And I looked down, and I'm like, as I'm saying vodka, and I look down and I see the cup, and for some reason my brain said, this is beer. So I said vodka and beer. And they both gave me a crazy look, and I started laughing, realizing what I said. They're like, wow, I guess Alex is going hardcore tonight. And I started laughing, and they're like, yeah, that's just like, she's raging tonight. And they're just like, they started yelling rage, and I was like, yeah, rage. And I got up in Wayne's face, and I was like, opened my eyes really big, and I was like, rage. Like,
freaked him out.
He's like, freaked him out. He's like, I totally didn't shit myself right there.
Wayne's a very funny guy.
Yeah, but it's just like my eyes were very very powerful for the night.
What's your McDonald's story?
It was the all right, so I went to McDonald's a few days ago, and I was in the drive-thru, and it was a long line, and I was willing to wait. So my car is like the second car to the actual speaker where you talk to the person, and I had this crazy old lady
oh my gosh, yeah,
knock on, like, come by, and I look up, and I locked eyes with her, and I was like, automatically felt, oh shit, I shouldn't have done that. And I'm just about to pull up to the speaker. She comes around to my passenger side door, knocks on the window, and she looks kind of out of it. She didn't go to any of the other cars. She's just walking around looking at the cars. She comes to mine, knocks on my window, and I roll it down like this much, like a tiny little bit. And I was like, yeah. I couldn't really make out what she was saying. It sounded a little foreign, but she made it sound like she said to save her a spot in line so she could come, like, pull her car up and go to the speaker before me. She said something about, I pulled into the line wrong and I need you to save me a spot. And I just kind of like nodded. I said, okay. And I rolled my window back up, and she started to walk away and went to like the next car and started talking to it. So I just like pulled up to the speaker person and kept watching behind me. I'm like, oh my God, I don't want her to like.
She got on the phone with me.
I like called Josh. I'm like, there's some weird lady knocking on my window. So she I didn't see her car or anything after that, but I was like paranoid going through the drive-thru. I was like, oh my God, I don't want this person to knock on my window again. Yeah,
Alex always has the craziest things happen to her when I'm not with her.
He's not there. And then the second story was, I went there today. I mean, that sounds like I go to McDonald's a lot, but I went there today. And
well, it's your day off. You can do what you want.
I know. I just wanted something quick. So I went to McDonald's, and as I'm in the drive-thru again, I see this. It's a long line again. I had this white, almost whitish looking Escalade. It kept circling McDonald's. Creepy. The whole 20 minutes I was in line. It just kept circling the McDonald's line, like the drive-thru, like they were waiting to like sneak a spot or something. It was just really creepy. I'd never seen it before.
They were waiting for someone to come out from inside.
20 minutes?
Well, maybe the line was just as long inside.
Maybe. You never know.
I don't know.
Or maybe they sat down to eat inside. I don't know.
I don't know. It was super creepy. And then the other weird part is that after I got my food and pulled away, it was gone. And I kept looking behind me as I was driving home. I'm like, oh my God.
Alex just gets
Maybe
the
you need to go
people.
to a different McDonald's.
Maybe I do.
Let's go to the one on State from now on. That's a good one.
That is a good one.
Yeah, we'll go to the one on State.
Yeah.
We got a bunch of stuff to get to.
Yes, we do. Go ahead.
So, I've talked a lot about how I buy digital codes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I was just dinking around on the Redbox app, and a while ago they added the ability to buy a movie from the Redbox.
Right.
Now, the only thing I wonder about that, well, I'm pretty sure I know the answer, but if you buy it from the Redbox, you just get the disc, which kind of is, to me, I would never do, because I would want the case and the cover, whatever.
The whole thing.
I'm just like, I guess if I had a book, like old school CD book.
I don't think people do that these days.
I don't think they do either. And I know you can get it super cheap, because they do the same for video games. And I was looking around on there, and you can get some games for like $5.
Like what? Was there anything that stands
today, Mafia 3, which I always wanted to play, that came out last year, and WWE 2K17, both under $10.
Wow.
Wow.
But Well, like I said, with movies, I would want the case. I could get by without it on games, but at the same time, if I would then want to get rid of them because they're physical, not digital, I've got nothing to sell them. I don't know with it.
Right.
So, but one thing I noticed is that they are now selling digital codes.
Okay, because they
buy the movie.
Yeah.
And then they just have all these digital codes.
But that's weird because when we just watched Split the other day, it said rental on the disc.
So I don't know. Well, I do know. Because you Redboxed that movie, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
It's got to be a studio thing because I remember when I worked at Walmart, we had a girl come in every Tuesday who ran at least one Redbox and would buy X amount of copies.
I remember that. I remember
movies.
that. Yep, they would get a stack.
Not every copy. That has to be a reaction from the studios to. They just don't put the extras in, like the feature, those extra features or whatever. But I thought, well, that's an easy way. And I looked on there, and they don't have a great big selection, and it's got to be location based. But I think they just started doing it because there's literally like 12 movies in there to choose from. But
anything big, like anything.
Moana was in there. Star Wars, both Star Wars, Force Awakens and Rogue One.
How much are they selling them for?
Force Awakens was like $6.
I'd buy that.
Yeah.
And Rogue One was 10 maybe.
I'd buy that too. Yeah.
But
because we don't own those.
Nope.
But what are you going to put them on?
What are they?
I'm not sure who the retailer would be.
Well,
you'd have it. I mean, you
Disney.
have to do. Yeah, you could do that Disney Anywhere thing they do.
Yeah.
But you'd have to do either Vudu or iTunes.
Vudu would probably be my choice.
I think Flickster is one.
So they give you a code to just put on whatever?
Yeah, so you'd buy it, you go to the Redbox that you choose, and it gives you the paper code in one of those cases.
What?
And you just keep the case.
That's weird.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, but it's brilliant because here they have bought all these copies of movies.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Eventually, they're going to sell those once they have them in there so long.
Yep.
If people buy them, otherwise, I imagine they just pull them out. I don't know if they sell them themselves. I don't know what they do with their overstock.
Wow.
But then you have these pieces of paper that you got practically for free or included in the cost that, depending on the movie, you probably made up for.
Right.
And now you just sell them for $5 a piece. It's like 100% profit almost.
Yeah.
Depending on the movie. Some movies may not make that much money.
Redbox is making money regardless because they have this feature of one-night rentals. And when people are like, "Oh, let's rent a movie tonight,"
and nobody
let's go
thinks
do
about,
this.
"Oh, I didn't take back that movie for a week," so they just racked up.
Oh yeah,
$7.
Well, that's if it's a DVD. If it's a Blu-ray, you're racking up $14.
Yeah.
That's almost more than 3/4 of the movie.
But you think about it. If you think about in the old Blockbuster days, a late fee is, I have no idea what it was, but
It was a few dollars.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, when you compare the two, if it's $14, you kept a movie for a week because you just keep forgetting to take it back. Versus 10 to 15 years ago, there you had a $10 late fee because you kept it 2 or 3 days longer.
At least you don't have to remember to rewind it.
Exactly.
Did you remember when Redbox first came out?
I do.
Yes.
I remember being in our buddy Trent's van, and he says, "We're gonna go rent a $1 movie."
Yeah.
I was like,
It was like
"What are you talking about?"
What the hell?
So the Scots up on Stellhorn, it used to be Scots, now it's Planet Fitness, or it's the neighbor of Planet Fitness, had a Redbox, and he pulled out, I think,
oh my gosh, it was that scary movie.
yeah, what's it called?
Not The Conjuring.
No, the zombie one with documentary, Quarantine.
Quarantine.
He got it on Blu-ray.
Yeah.
And it was $1.50.
Yeah.
So I was just like, this is amazing. How is this not a thing?
Now they're
Suddenly
everywhere.
it's just everywhere.
So
It blew my mind.
The whole thing is what I'm getting to is I love that they're doing this, selling the digital copies, because now you don't have to wait for it to go on sale in the iTunes store, or you don't have to buy the full Blu-ray copy to get it that way. So especially combined with this Movies Anywhere that I talked about last week or the week before, it's great. It's a great inexpensive way to build a digital collection, which is what I'm interested in doing. So
yeah. I don't own anything digitally, and I'm like, I don't own any of the Star Wars movies past.
You just said you're gonna.
I said that would be a good idea. Okay. I said I might. It's $6. Yeah, probably. I mean, if you get a choice of where to get it from, that's even crazier. I had no idea that was a thing. So that's interesting. And I'm surprised they didn't start this out sooner, because
Yeah,
codes came with Blu-rays a couple years ago.
Early Blu-rays, it was a digital copy on a disc, and then they started doing the whole ultraviolet thing.
Yeah,
and now it's more specifically a digital retailer.
Right, it's because and they're still competing with each other. No one's winning over the other anymore. Yep. It's all just. But you're talking about that Movies Anywhere, and that would be a way to just coincide with all of the competitors, and it's just going to become a thing.
Yep.
A hub. So, yeah, interesting stuff. So. You've been staying up late.
Well,
for the World Series.
A couple days.
Yes.
And most specifically, Sunday night I stayed up. It was Game 5. Started at right after the 4:00 football game on Fox. So it's like 7:05 or whatever, 7:35 maybe, 7:30, somewhere around there. Game 5 of the World Series. And I am not a baseball fan. Okay. But I thought, well, heck, I'll check this out, even if a little bit here and there. And this game went on and had, it was 4-0 when I started watching it, and then it was 4-4, and then it was 7-4, and then it was 7-7.
Wow.
And then it was 9-9. It ended up being 12-12 going into extra innings.
What?
It was 20-2 before it was over.
Oh my God.
And it was so exciting, and I was laying down watching it because I'm like, I have to go to sleep as soon as this is over. But it was intense. I mean, it's just, with baseball, there's no clock. So the game's not over until you have all the outs, and
we watched the series, like the championship or whatever you call it game last year.
The Cubs.
Yeah, we did.
We stayed up and watched it because it was intense. Yeah, it was intense.
And it was historical.
And it was historical.
Because and it even went late because I think I remember falling asleep during that one, which I kind of was mad at myself.
Yeah, the Cubs, that was the first time they got in the World Series since the early 1900s, right?
Well, I thought they'd been in, but they haven't won it since 1908.
That's what it was. Yeah. That's what it was.
I think they got it in the 40s. They didn't win.
Okay, yeah.
But game 6 was last night, and the Dodgers won. So Game 7 is tonight. It's actually happening right now.
And that's it.
And somebody's going to win it tonight.
So they're tied 3-3?
Yeah.
What?
Wow.
So we might have to.
Does that happen very often?
It went 7 last year.
Did it?
It even went 7 when I think the Indians were up 3-1, and the Cubs came back and won it.
That's right. Yep.
Because I thought, man, I would feel really bad for Cubs fans when their team was really, really good.
Yep.
And they've gone down 3-1.
Everyone likes an underdog.
It's hard to come back from down 3-1.
Yeah.
Because you got to win 3 in a row, and they did.
Right.
So it's just, even if you're somewhat of a sports fan, but maybe not a baseball fan, it's fun
to watch.
The best part of sports is just intense, just these already through Game 5, there were more home runs in this series than any other World Series before.
Oh.
And baseball goes back a long time.
Yeah.
So that's saying something right there.
Even with the Sammy Sosa, Mark McGwire running.
The steroids era.
The steroids era. I want to talk about this NFL. I want to get into football. You talk about touchdown celebrations.
So they made a new rule this year where
you can do it without taunting.
Right. And
yes.
You do there's specific.
I think there's a gray area for it.
But some players are coming up with some really good stuff.
I saw Duck Duck Goose.
My favorite one was Duck Duck Goose.
Did you see any from last week?
We didn't get. Are you talking about last Sunday?
Last Sunday, yeah.
We didn't get a chance to watch anything.
Was it a baseball one or there was some?
Okay, that's what I was talking about. So Alshon Jeffrey from the Philadelphia Eagles, he scores a touchdown.
Yeah.
So he gets up in the end zone and he's got like he's in a batter's box, like he's gonna hit, and his teammate pitches and hits him with the ball, and he charges the mound and chases the guy off.
Oh,
it was so funny. It was great.
People are being creative with this, and I love it because it gets people back into playing the game.
I like it a lot.
Well, and NFL took a lot of heat for being the no fun league because you couldn't celebrate almost at all.
NFL no fun
when
league.
They scored. Well, that's why I said it. No fun league.
Oh, you're gonna write that down? That's not that creative, Alex.
I like it.
So there was another one. The best name in the NFL. He's a Steelers player. He plays for the Steelers. His name is Juju Smith-Schuster.
Well, Alex likes Clinton Dix.
I know, but he's not the best name. Juju Smith-Schuster is the best name in the NFL.
Can you say it again?
Juju.
Juju
is his first name.
Juju.
Smith Schuster is
Smith
his.
Schuster.
It's like
Juju Smith
hyphenated.
Schuster.
Juju Smith Schuster. Okay.
So he has his teammate kind of like cover his eyes, and he runs behind the goalpost and he hides.
I saw that one.
That's what I saw.
Yeah, hide and seek.
Hide and seek.
Yeah,
That was great.
that one was a good one.
And I think Le'Veon Bell of the Steelers last week scored a touchdown, and then he had his Juju Smith Schuster like get down on his hands and knees, and he kind of like laid back on him like he was bench pressing, and then he used the ball as the bar.
Nice.
And he had his teammates, two other teammates, stand kind of spotting him.
Spotting
on the
him.
side.
Nice.
So that was really good. And it's newer now because they're allowed to do it, but in the days past, remember Terrell Owens had some real creative ones. Like he ran over to somebody in the stands and grabbed their bowl of popcorn and just threw it in his face.
I saw that one. Yep, I remember.
And he did one where he scored a touchdown. He stuck a Sharpie in his sock. So he got the Sharpie out, signed the ball
and gave it to a fan.
Somebody.
Oh, wow.
And he did one other one when he was I think he was in San Francisco. He scored a touchdown. It was a home game. He ran over to the cheerleaders, grabbed their pom-poms, and did it.
Oh, I would do that. Can they do that now? Like, would they be able to do that?
They can now. Well, there's rules against, I think you can only use the ball as a prop.
Oh.
Okay.
But, back then, he popcorn.
My favorite one was the
How much
Duck
time did they
Goose
give
one.
you?
Oh, well,
Because I wonder if they could do a
20 seconds or so.
cheerleader triangle.
That was the first one that I saw that I was like, that it was completely different from any other celebration. I was like, wait, what are they doing? What? Like, and then he just ran around and was like tapping and then had the ball and then got up and ran. And I was like, they just did Dr. Goose in the end zone.
That was the Vikings, right?
I don't
think it
remember
was
the
the
game.
Vikings.
I just remember we were watching it and I saw that and I thought it was the coolest thing. I'm like, wait, are they going to get penalized for that? Was my first question. Josh goes, I don't know.
Like, I remember them talking about celebrations coming back, and I just never heard anything about it.
Any of them, anybody can dance, and they're just taking it much farther.
I like it.
dancing. I think it's
funny.
The Alshon Jeffrey. I don't know what about it just made me.
I'll have to watch
my
it.
ass off.
I'll have to watch it.
And I guess the best part was that he charged and the other guy ran off like he was running away from him. It was great.
Keeps the spirit in the game and keeps people having fun,
I want to tell a quick story.
Okay.
Something, how I know you're not, and you know how much of a fan of Dwayne Johnson that I am.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I heard a story. I've heard most of his background through different WWE videos.
Mm-hmm.
They did one 3 years ago, I think, that was like 2 hours long. That just told you a bunch of stuff you may not have known. Just going over his whole career.
Okay.
But JR was on Colin Cowherd's show on FS1.
Okay.
And they talked about him recruiting The Rock or Dwayne Johnson, because he went to the University of Miami to play football.
Mm-hmm.
And then he went to the Calgary Stampeders in Canada to play in the CFL.
Yep.
And he got hurt and he got cut. So he was then going to get into the wrestling business, and he goes out to lunch with JR. And just to talk about possibly going to work for the WWF.
Well, the Rock was already a shoo-in because he has legacy.
Well, I mean, yeah, but they're just, they're not just going to give it to him because he's a third-generation wrestler.
Yeah.
His grandfather and then his father.
Mm-hmm.
So, which is interesting. Because
and his uncle, right? His uncle and his cousins.
That may be, but more specifically, his line is his father. But it's funny because his grandfather, I'm pretty darn sure it's his mom's dad.
Okay.
And then his own dad.
Okay.
So it's kind of the two separate sides of the family. I
both
don't know if that's for sure true, but I'm pretty sure.
Didn't they both have the Rocky Maivia? One of them was Maivia something.
High Chief Peter Maivia was his grandfather, and then Rocky Johnson was his father.
So he was Rocky Maivia.
Yes.
Yep.
So anyway, JR's telling the story about how he took him out to lunch, and he's like, JR, I would pay for lunch, but I only have $7. And his production company is now called $7 Production.
I hope so.
And I just thought, holy crap, I didn't know that story for one.
Yeah.
And it makes total sense now that he would name his production company after something, because he's all about, coming from nothing and just working as
rags
hard
to
as
riches.
You can.
Yep.
One thing I always remember that he says in a lot of his posts and stuff is, be the hardest worker in the room at all times.
Yeah.
So I just think it's great. He always does stuff for his fans. Like, I think I told the story about one time he he has a guy. He pulls up next to a guy driving like a truck. Guy gets out of his truck to go take a picture with him in oncoming traffic.
Oh my
So
God!
he's just like, hurry up, get the picture. But it was just really cool, and I like that he doesn't forget where he comes from.
That's good, and a lot of people do when they get to that point.
Yeah.
I mean, when Alex and I watch Total Divas, we see how stuck up people can get.
Well, that's the other thing.
Well, it's also acting.
Well, I get that. I get that too.
Some of it can be written, but he always says, and again, a lot of his posts, the meeting his fans and doing those kinds of things are the best part of his fame.
That's good.
Which I really respect.
Yeah. The Miz, he's actually a really nice guy.
He kind of came from
nothing.
Bottom too.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. And right, when we were watching the latest season of Total Divas, which that's got to be coming out again soon, right?
Actually, I think Total Bellas is what was aired.
But they're not doing Total Divas anymore?
I don't think I've seen any advertisement for Total Divas. It was Total Bellas.
Okay. But on the last episode, or one of the latest episodes that we saw last year, actually it was last spring, The Miz and his wife were trying to save up for a house, and his wife just wound up spending money, and he got like
she bought a house without his permission that they were she found like a really bad house, and they like flipping houses.
Sure.
And she did it without his permission. Yikes. And it was like a lot of money. And he goes, did you even, she's like, oh, look, we could fix this up. And he's like, do you realize how much money it's going to take to fix this up? This is like beyond fixable.
Yeah.
Like I would make more money bulldozing this house and rebuilding it.
Is she in the business or is
Maurice?
I think they have a retailer or a,
what are you saying?
What does she do? Like they sell houses.
That's called being a realtor.
Yeah. You said retailer.
But no, I think she's also a professional wrestler.
Well, yeah, she's a wrestler. But yeah, I think they both have like a realtor's license.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I don't see why not. I mean, it's always good to have a fallback.
Yeah. Her and Nikki sells houses too.
Nikki? Bella?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh, didn't know that.
There was an episode where she was trying to sell a house to Naomi.
Oh, that's right. And it was above Naomi's budget.
It was like she went into the corner. She's like, all right, how much is this house? And she had said like something million. And she's like, she went off to the side. She's like, not to take this personal, but how much do you think I make? She's like, this is way over like what I make.
Yeah. So let's move on from there.
Well, I got a short story and then a bit of a short discussion topic.
Okay. And then we got to get into playing and watching.
Yeah. I started a new job this week.
Yes, you did.
Mm-hmm.
And
I wasn't going to say anything unless you did. But congratulations.
Thank you. I'm not going to say where or what it is, but I'm now in the mode where I have not been this stressed in a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And you, and not to air any of your dirty laundry, but you've had a lot of jobs.
I've had...
Well, let me say this. You've started more new jobs than I have because this is only my third.
Okay. Yes,
so
I have.
Do you find yourself, or have you in the past found it to where you are just completely overwhelmed in the first few X amount of days, weeks in a job?
You were for when you started this one?
No, I wasn't.
Yes, you were?
No, I wasn't. No.
When you very first switched from being a cashier at this place to what you are doing now?
It was a change.
Because there was no direction for you.
Well, it's mainly because
this is what you're going to do.
The company that I work for didn't know what to do with me at the time.
Yeah.
So you kind of just had to make it.
He kind of had to make his own job.
Yeah. And nowadays it's like, hey, we need this, and I'm real simple on a production thing that I do. And
there was no job description for him. So that's why like he would come home some days and goes, oh my gosh, I got to do this, this, and this. And the other days would be like, I don't know what to do. Like I'm having all these different things thrown at me before, and it's not supposed to be my responsibility.
It just happens with the starter companies that I've been working for. I'll tell you one job that was super stressful was when I was working in Chicago at GamePazo, this one video game company. When I was working there was no direction for this company, and they could have soared. It could have been a
multi-million-dollar thing. I mean, it was even backed by MTV and what were the other big ones? I was like Monster,
THQ. back when they were big.
Yeah.
We had a big launch party for Homefront. Too bad that game was terrible.
I mean, this place was all about location too. It was in a really shitty location.
We had one of the game designers from Mortal Kombat come in, and he was actually someone I was going to school with, and he came in for this tournament and he whooped ass and everything, of course.
Sure.
I had the number 2 or 3, the second or third person in the world, best player in the world for Call of Duty at this location. Yeah. This location could have been big.
Yeah.
Could have been.
The stressful environment for me was not having full direction personally.
They just expected them to know what to do. It was a brand new concept, brand new job.
Yeah.
They just said, why aren't you doing this? Well, I was never told I had to do it.
Alex has only had 4 jobs.
Yes.
How about you then? Have you
been really stressed?
Well, how many jobs have you had? You've had 2 different jobs in the field that you're in. Right?
In the field that I'm working in now, I've had 1.
Actually, no, you've had 5 jobs.
3, 4.
Oh, wow.
I've had 4 in this career that I am doing, and before that, I only technically had 1 other job, and I was a busser at a Mexican restaurant.
Different perspective. You're doing you both are doing what you went to school to do.
Yes.
I am not really.
No, I can see where you're coming from now. If I were to quit my job and go do something I've never done before, or I have at least some kind of concept, and I were to start, I would be extremely stressed and overwhelmed because, for one, I've been doing what I've been doing for the last 10 years.
Yes, yes, you have.
So I'm really struggling with that, and I know it's going to get easier, but it is hard when it's a whole new location. I mean, everybody's been great. They're helping me, as they can, but it's a lot to learn, and I am older, and I do not handle these major changes like I did when I was 19, 20.
To put it into perspective, if you had a resume, yours would be rather short because you've stuck around to places.
Well, and that's a good thing. That's
it is
what
good.
A lot of
people
like
look to
for.
See that. Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. It's like in The Office when Pam is interviewing for another position. Mm-hmm. She's talking to Bob Odenkirk, and he's like, "You know what this means? That you care," and all this stuff. And I'm just like, "Oh my god!" It's like she's been to one place.
Yeah.
That was Dunder Mifflin.
Well, I was at my first company for 12 years.
Well, we've already said where.
Right.
Yeah.
I was just going to eliminate. I was at one, my first company for 12 years. Then the second one, I planned on being there a long time, and it just didn't work out, which would be
Well, you always hope that when you start a job that
you'll be there.
You'll be there for a while.
I agree. I mean, I don't jump from job to job, but it just wasn't working at this job, so I was there less than 3 years.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, I'm all for, as soon as you start, you hope to put your mind and soul into this job. This is what you're going to do for a really long time. But there's just certain things where if you jump into the job and it's just, some things just don't fit and they're just not right. And I don't think that you should stress out staying there and try to correct things if it's just not working out. There are more places.
Well, and at the same time, there's reality too.
Alex,
and,
your bow is fine.
When
it keeps falling.
People don't like to talk about money in their jobs, but
that's what you're there for.
That's exactly
honestly what you're there for is to make a check.
Exactly.
I mean, Josh was saying the other day, doing a thing, and said, asked us at the table while we were at the restaurant, and he said, "Would you rather?" It was a question you get asked all the time. Would you be more happy making more money and hating your job, or love your job and not make a lot of money?
Boy, that's tough,
isn't it?
So it used to be when I was younger, before adult life really set in, it used to be, you know what, I love my job. I don't care how much I get paid. Mm-hmm. And now it's becoming even. It's becoming even now. I kind of really care about how much I make, but I also want to love my job.
Yeah, I mean,
I would never want to hate my job.
Mm-hmm.
One could argue that you can put up with the hours of the day, which makes you enjoy the hours you're away from it a lot more.
Yeah.
The people that are true workaholics love their job. Like Vince McMahon says, if you love your job, you'll never work a day in your life.
Yeah.
And that guy
is a billionaire.
He's a billionaire.
And he never stops.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
His job is his life.
He needs to...
which is great.
He does need to retire.
He does. But, I mean, I guess my whole point is, with that, it's great to say I don't care about the money, but when you need money to pay bills, if you are completely debt free and you can
Congrats.
Live on 10% of your income,
yeah,
great. That's great.
That's
but
great.
when you have bills and expenses, sometimes you just gotta do what you gotta do to pay them.
I mean, you gotta work that overtime.
And in your case, I mean, when you talk about it, you don't even have kids yet.
I know.
So
that's what we've been thinking about for the last few years is, wow, we really need to step some stuff up and start thinking about how we're going to handle this living situation in our lives now with children.
Yep.
We've got to start planning stuff ahead of time since we've been so gracious to be allowed to plan having kids so far.
Yeah.
You were going somewhere with where you started your story.
I had a
branched off there.
A drug test on Monday.
Yes, you did.
And I was not worried because I passed.
Yeah. It's the easiest test to pass.
Right. That does not bother me. Now, my previous job, there was no test required, which is strange.
Okay.
But it came up, and I was talking with a guy at my old job about drug tests and why companies should or should not give them.
Yeah.
I just was curious on your position on that.
Well,
because he had a different position than mine, and it's not that I have one over the other, but I pointed out why companies might require them versus why not, because he was more of the opinion that they shouldn't be required.
Right.
And I explained to them, well, yes, but think about this.
Well, in my opinion, it depends on what you're testing for. It depends on your views of what you're testing for. I mean, if you're on heroin or cocaine, methamphetamine, all that stuff, you don't want to hire that person. They obviously have made some wrong choices in their life. But some people have different views on marijuana. Myself personally, I think that that should be legalized to the fact that it has a lot of health benefits depending on how you consume it, things like that. So if that was taken out, drug test, go ahead.
Talking about more of the harder stuff.
The stuff that can definitely kill you. That's my personal opinion, is that if they took out that one thing, which is marijuana, then I'm sure it'd be just fantastic to do. But nowadays people have different views and they argue against it, and it's a whole thing.
As an employee, like a coworker, I don't think that drug testing should be required to start your job. I believe in drug testing for issues. If you're all of a sudden having a complete change in an employee during the during your working day,
behavioral issues.
Yeah, if something's going on where fingers are being pointed and stuff, I'm all for saying, you know what, things are happening and we believe that you should have a drug test.
Yeah, I agree.
Accidents. If on the job.
Well, yeah, and then accidents. Yeah. Okay. Well, I had an incident where I had to go to the doctor because I got hurt at work, and that was one of the things that was I was surprised I didn't have to have done, but it was very informal the way that I had to go to the doctor just because people were out of town. I had to do everything kind of out of pocket at the time. But that was like one thing that in the past that has always been required. If you get hurt at work, you get a drug test as well.
Yeah.
So I believe in that as well. I think that should be part of it. But there's been places I have worked that have not required drug testing or do not have drug testing. And the moment they started to implement like a yearly screen or anything like that, people dropped like flies.
Yeah.
to tell you the truth, it was obvious people.
Okay.
But as far as requirement to start a job as a as a non-employer, I can see how that will affect things for if you don't drug screen. If you don't drug screen someone and they start and they're a fuck up, that's a lot of waste of your money, a lot of waste of time, and business, all that. I get that part. But I get the positive, or I also get the other side of, you don't judge people until you have to, until it's an issue.
It also depends on what you're applying for.
Okay,
if you are going into the medical field, yes.
Yeah,
you got to be clear of that kind of stuff because you're handling other people.
In
general, if you're a doctor or something.
Your responsibilities and stuff, when they're all the way up here to where you're handling life, drug test.
Definitely.
Yeah, so my position is similar to yours. you got to think about it from the perspective of the employer. If you take on someone who even recreationally does, drugs,
okay,
then they're now your problem. And depending on the position, let's say they get busted outside of work, now they have your name or your company possibly linked to your company that they have this record or this stain on
Okay, but what they do outside of work really is their responsibility, not the employer's.
What if you're an executive of this company? What if you're high-level management?
Then you come out and you make a statement saying what they did was on their own time and it was not...
It is still possible. I mean, no, that's an extreme example.
It is.
But it is still a linkage. That's negative PR.
It is.
Some companies, they don't want any part of that.
Okay, and then let's just say... years down the road, let's say this podcast that we're doing is like this big famous worldwide thing and we have people that we have hired and that happened and we did not drug test. I feel it's probably gonna be completely different at that time, but I feel like it would be really easy for me to come out and say, I'm sorry, they were an all-star employee, the stuff that they did at work was awesome, I feel bad for the decisions that they made outside of work. End of story.
No, I agree. And
that was not on my time. That was theirs.
America especially is all about second chances. Anybody that gets busted for stuff. Now, depending on what it is, it can rebound without
issues. Going into depth of who we may be talking about.
Yeah. I guess.
I mean, some stuff is hard to bounce back from.
It is.
Especially a drug arrest is not the end of the world. But going back to smaller positions and stuff, it's just it's a liability that some employers may not want to take on if you hire someone who uses even for recreational purpose. So,
right.
I mean, it's all up to the employer how they want to. What kind of risk they want to take
I wonder
on.
what kind
That's
of,
true.
it'd be interesting to look up or call up businesses in places like Wyoming or Colorado or Michigan or...
You mean the legal states?
Yeah, the states that have recreational marijuana and see if they've changed any kind of their... policy or interview process.
Because, it's legal in this state, but companies can still technically say... we don't want you on drugs while you're on the job.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
they can absolutely drug test.
Yeah.
But who's to say you're not doing it on the job?
What if someone has, what I'm trying to say is, did they change their policy where if they already require drug testing, but they know it's recreational is legal, state legal, and someone tests is positive for marijuana but negative for everything else, does that affect their decision?
I gotcha.
That's a good question.
Like that, I would wonder where that stands.
Along the same lines, let's just say you're a company in one of those states and you say, I don't want anybody at work after consuming or whatever.
Yeah.
And someone then does come in and they say, well, I did this, let's say they work at noon. Well, I lit up at 8 a.m. I'm fine,
Yeah.
It seems like a very blurry line. And I wonder how they're handling it.
Yeah,
that's where I came into drug testing while, or how do I say this? Like
during your employment?
Like during your employment, I don't know a word for it, but if it's affecting your job and your performance, then I say yes, you should drug test. And if it comes up positive, then that's out the door.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's what I say.
Yeah,
I agree.
So if you're lighting up and all that stuff and going to work and doing a real shit job and people, you're smelling like drugs, and I'd say, hey, that's a pretty obvious sign you need to get drug tested.
Well, and along the same lines, and this is a fairly hot topic. I didn't mean to make it that. But how many people in this room have gone to work the next day still half drunk or hungover and performance is very impaired?
Very impaired? No. I'd say back when I was like 21, like early on, I'd say, back then I was able to, go to a party and then the next day wake up, but my responsibilities were not...
They're not as dire
they
as
weren't
they are
very
now.
dire, and I would be a little bit more slow, yes, but I would not, if I was waking up and I was super hungover and I was puking and I couldn't even get myself out of bed, I called in. I mean, I was responsible about it. I could definitely see that being a problem for, alcoholics.
Yeah. That's why I was never available on Sundays. I mean, of course, there's church,
that's being responsible to say, hey, I'm a partier. I party every Saturday night.
I'm not available Sunday. I will not.
Good to do that ahead of time, but when you then are scheduled
You're talking
Sunday.
to, like, the people you're talking to at the table, though. I think we're a very responsible bunch of people.
Oh, now we are, but I wouldn't say we always were.
Not always, but I mean, I feel like, drinking and doing, performing a job and things like that. I think we were pretty darn smart about knowing when we should not be going into work.
I know I can remember the time that I went and I should not have.
And I've heard other people, like our friends, talk about that kind of stuff.
Sunday morning, I had to be there at 7.
Was this one of our flashback nights?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
No, this was before that.
Okay.
Okay.
We got to move on to playing and watching.
Oh, I thought we were going to talk about it now.
I mean, there's nothing to it. I stayed up too late drinking and went to work then 4 hours later. So
I've never had to do that. I would hope that you would be more responsible, especially being at least our age now, do that.
You know what? The one item that we didn't get to, it's like Matt Damon with Jimmy Kimmel, It's been on there 2 weeks in a row now.
Well,
but
that's fine.
That's okay.
It can wait.
It actually kind of gets in more with Christmas shopping, so we can hold it.
Yeah, we'll save it.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's move on to playing and watching real quick.
Are you playing anything, Brett?
I actually loaded up Grand Theft Auto Online because all you had to do was log in, and they gave you $425,000.
Why?
Just for Halloween.
And
they're doing like double points, and I tell you what, it is almost like a different game.
I'm sure.
So much stuff on there now that wasn't there when the last time we played.
I don't know if it's going to make me get it, though.
Yeah, I doubt it.
But I that's fine. I thought that it was a very enjoyable time at the time.
Honestly, what I wish they would do is just not limit the money so I can have the stuff but not play against people with an obvious advantage.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
There's people that can buy tanks.
I want the high-rise apartment. And now they have these things where you have a bunker or an air hangar.
You can get a yacht.
Well, the yachts, that's been out for a while.
Yeah.
There's bunkers, clubs, because the clubs came out with the biker add-on.
Oh, you can own a motorcycle
club?
club?
A club. I'm not sure what the specifics are with gameplay. But then they did the high-rise thing where you're like a president of a gang or something like that.
Okay.
So there's just so much extra stuff. I don't really care about the multiplayer function of it. I just want the stuff.
I get it.
And
I just want the stuff.
Just have 3 or 4 different 10-car garages with a bunch of awesome cars in it, all fixed up.
Yeah. You play anything else?
Nope, that's it.
I was playing some Rocket League. They had a Halloween event going on where you got extra stuff. I don't know if I talked about this last week.
You did.
Did I?
You did.
Okay. Yeah, I got the Grim Reaper goalie. Or not the goalie, the goal explosion. So if I make a goal, the Grim Reaper comes out. It's pretty awesome. I dig it.
I thought I saw like a Die Hard add-on for a Rocket League car.
Die Hard?
There was some
Die Hard didn't have a car.
No, there was some kind of Rocket League car with a licensed add-on that I saw, and I can't remember what it is.
They've done Fast and the Furious.
Maybe that was it. That was
okay.
It. Fast and Furious cars.
Yep, and I think they did Hot Wheels too. I think so. I think they did.
So
yeah, I was playing some of that, and then on Saturday, I purchased Super Mario Odyssey. Started playing that, and I was very excited.
It's very pretty,
but I was very hungover, so I still have yet to play like through an entire like world yet.
It's very pretty.
Will you ever play it?
No, because there's a lot of looting.
It's not that. Well, yeah, you have to collect 400 moons at least.
It's a lot of looting. I saw you play that Hat World one.
Yeah.
And there's just way too much. Like, I automatically was overwhelmed.
Yeah. It's pretty fun.
Eventually with the Switch, I wanted to have the major third-party stuff.
You were talking about this last week, but not on the podcast, right? I don't think you were.
No, I did.
You talked about if it had Madden?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I want it to be able to play the console stuff in some capacity on the go.
Oh, it can.
Perhaps not yet it can't.
Has the ability to.
What?
What are you talking about?
It doesn't have a lot of the third-party games.
Oh,
yet.
I thought it can handle it though.
It can do it. They're just not there yet.
Yes.
I'm sure it's coming.
Yes. Skyrim comes out this month.
Like
and
WWE 2K18 is coming for it.
Yep.
Madden, or not Madden, but NBA is already out. So there is stuff. It's just rolling out slower, and I get that. They want to get their Nintendo titles out.
I think Madden, they'll just wait till next year.
Probably.
Or they might as well just do that. Other than that, I don't think I've been playing anything else.
We've been way too busy this week to play anything than putting in Odyssey.
Yeah, that's about it.
Jared really wanted to play it.
Oh, he did. And
Josh put it in, started playing it. Jared came downstairs. He's like, "Dude, is that Odyssey?"
Yeah, it's like, here, I hand the controllers off to him.
And Jared just automatically got right into it.
Yep. Watching anything?
I just watched a couple scary things. I started Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I wanted to watch the 2003, but the only thing for streaming that was out was The Beginning, which was 05.
That's on Amazon, right?
I'm watching on Netflix. It might be on Amazon,
okay.
but and then I watched Wrong Turn because that's kind of my go-to Halloween movie.
How can you watch Wrong Turn?
I don't know. Well, for one, it's only like an hour and 40 minutes.
It is the worst hour and 40 minutes ever.
Real slow, but
how many sequels did they get?
There's like 5 of them.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
But I think a couple of them are prequels.
Oh, really?
So it's just all over the place.
Oh my goodness. They took that franchise and just rolled with it, even though it wasn't that successful.
No,
like it's just.
I can't believe you.
It's probably a lot of it.
Is it only because that one chick is in there?
Elijah Dushku?
Well, that's a bonus.
Bonus.
The other one is attractive too.
What?
The other one is attractive too.
Ooh.
The other girl.
I only remember
the
Elijah
one.
Dushku.
Yeah. Bonus. Anything else watching?
That's it.
No. For us, let me think. There has to be. Well, we watched the Linkin Park concert. We do have to talk about that before we wrap up. ST.
Stranger Things.
Oh, Stranger Things. We started that up. We started. It was on Sunday. Bad time to do it.
Bad time to do it.
Because Alex, Jared, and I, all three of us just hung over, tired and stuff. So we got through the first episode just fine.
So we're sitting there, and it's Sunday afternoon after we got back from Stupid Angels. And we're like, what can we do today? Do we even want to do anything? And Josh's like, Stranger Things came out. I'm like,
watch football.
Our eyes lit up and we're like, we could watch Stranger Things. Let's do it. So we turned it on, made it through the first episode.
Yep.
Started the second. 5 minutes into the second episode, Jared's out.
Yep.
And then like maybe a half an hour.
I was halfway through the episode.
Josh is out, and then I'm over here like, are you guys seeing? You guys are both sleeping.
Yeah, we were both out.
And then Jared wakes up the last 5 minutes, and he's like, well, great.
That in a sleeping.
I was awake.
It's too
Alex surprisingly was awake.
You want to pay. You want to have your full attention.
So
I woke up to you guys watching The
last
Office.
night we rewatched 2.
Yep, 2, 3, and 4. We're on episode 5.
Did we watch all of 4?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
So yeah, and I think we started 5, but I eventually just went, Josh, can we switch it to something else because I'm now losing.
You were losing sleep.
Capability of my eyes staying awake.
Yeah. I'm not sure when I'm going to watch it.
Oh, this weekend. You have the weekend off.
I do, but I don't know if I will.
9 hours worth of stuff.
Yeah, I don't know. I want to watch it somewhat quickly, but I don't know if I want to commit that kind of time.
I gotta say,
it's good.
Not only is the production value better, the acting
is much better as
well. You can tell Will is it Will who was taken in the first season?
Yes.
Who's Mike? You can tell he was in It.
Sure.
You can tell
he's had more experience in movies. Yep. Definitely.
And the police officer, the sheriff, he's great. Winona Ryder, Sean Astin's in this.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's a new character.
Cool.
And Alex and I have our conspiracy thoughts on him.
Yeah, we're already building.
We're already like, okay, so he might be this because this is happening, and you get to. It's just so much
Part
information.
Of me still wants to watch the first season again before
Josh,
I watch the
second. As a recap,
Josh, the episode that we watched.
Shh! I don't know what you're saying.
Just
stop saying
it. It was so good. It's so good.
I don't know what you're saying.
It was an ending. I can't talk about it anymore. Never mind.
I can't.
Nope.
I can't. I don't even know what you're saying. I don't know what she's saying, so it doesn't matter.
You gotta get out of here.
You really, you really need to watch it because I really want to talk about it. It's really good though. It's really good. We're slowly getting through
I don't know why you haven't started. You asked us if we were going to start, and we're like, no, not yet.
Like you said, it was a busy weekend.
Oh, it really was. And the fact that you didn't have the week off that you were planning,
right?
You probably were thinking, I might get through Stranger Things by doing this, but no, you went in right away. So do we have anything else to say before we go into our stuff?
No.
I don't think so.
No? Okay. First of all, T-Shirt Tuesday is going on right now. Or no, it's not.
Nope. Next week.
When this is out on video, it'll be the next day. It'll be Tuesday the 7th of November is when you will see our T-Shirt Tuesday post on our Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Just head on over to our Twitter page, which is at PTOUnlimited, and on our top pin post will be our T-Shirt Tuesday giveaway. All you have to do is like the post, follow us on Twitter, and retweet the post using hashtag PTO giveaway for your opportunity to win. For September and October, we have yet to hear from you guys. So if you are listening now, you better go back. Last week was one, and then go back 4 more episodes. So
go back 4 more episodes.
The one that was posted, if you're on SoundCloud, the one that was posted on, I gotta get the date here, September 27th. Will be the one that you gotta pay attention to if you were like, I entered in.
It's right in the first
20 minutes.
20 minutes.
Yeah. So if you're listening and you think you entered in the past 2 months and you're like, go back. Please do it. We'd love to hand out our T-shirts to those winners, and we can't say anything now. So we're just gonna plug it in.
Yep.
It's time to plug it in, guys. So if you're listening to us, remember there are other apps you can find us on as well. We are on SoundCloud, iTunes, Stitcher, Podcast Addict, Blueberry, TuneIn, Satchel, the Xbox One podcast app, Google Play Music, and Podbean. And as always, we thank you guys for liking, sharing, and subscribing. Everything that you do gets us out there, so rating us on iTunes, reposting us on SoundCloud, following us on Facebook, sharing us on Facebook, liking us on Instagram, retweeting. We love everything that you do. We thank you guys very much for doing that. It gets us out there and more people listening, and gets us a little more out there, and we thank you guys. And remember, if you want to watch us, YouTube every Monday. I'm going to hopefully have one out for this week. We're going to take a look at that this weekend, and hopefully I'll have one out for you. Just stay tuned for an announcement. So if you're watching us, thanks for joining us, and we thank you guys for subscribing and liking and all that stuff. Thank you very much. If you want to catch us on Exploded Radio, we're there every Tuesday night at 6 p.m. Central, 7 Eastern. They play our most recent podcast on there, and then Monday through Friday they also play another podcast from other people as well. So if you go over to exploded.com or on TuneIn, you can search Exploded Radio. That's where they play music and other podcasts and stuff, but we're there at 6 p.m. every Tuesday. So make sure you guys check that out, and we thank you guys for joining us on that as well. If you ever want to follow us on any of our social media apps, we are on Facebook, which is facebook.com/PTOUnlimited. Instagram is PTOUnlimited_podcast. We are also on Twitter, which is at PTOUnlimited. If you want to catch us live on our precast meetings every Wednesday night at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, on all 3 of those apps is where we are live for our precast meetings, where we talk about what we're going to talk about before we talk about them. And also this one, for episode 82, we did a candy test, and Brett and I were blindfolded, and Alex had a wrapper she was sticking up to the camera, kind of showing off what we were eating, and we had to guess what it was.
We might have to do
we have to do more of that. Yeah. It was pretty fun. A lot of people were engaged and laughing at me because of the damn warhead. That freaked me out. Like, suddenly just something tinged my tongue. So,
tinged my tongue.
If you want to email us about anything that we talked about, or you want to chime in on something, our email address is ptounlimited@gmail.com. If you ever want to follow me on Twitter, I am @Lemke619.
Brett_wings.
Cute_kitty.
That is 82. Alex, you did not touch on the concert. Do you want to wait till next week?
I'll do it next week.
Okay. So thanks for joining us for 82, guys. We thank you guys for liking, sharing, subscribing. Make sure you go over to our Twitter page on Tuesday, the 7th of November. Thank you guys for joining us. Bye.